So first and foremost, Jack, can you explain this phenomenon about this? What's this kid's name? I mean, I just have not paid zero attention to it because I'm going to give my opinion in a second here. But explain what we're about to talk about today, Jack, because this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, so there's this kid going around. His name's Baby Gronk. He's like 10 years old. He's been around for a few years, kind of social media. It's just like he's basically the stereotypical kid that's kind of gotten just he hit puberty basically a few years old, pretty much sooner than anybody else. He really isn't anything too great. Couple of videos of him score touchdowns. His parents have just hyped him into oblivion, called him Baby Gronk. It started, I mean, really the big thing started this past week because like it was a video from like back in March. It was like this stupid TikTok video of him with the Livy Dunn, I think her name is, the LSU gymnast. It's really popular on social media. Him hanging out with her and some kid making a stupid video about it. And it kind of put Baby Gronk back into the spotlight. And the New York Times did an interview with his father, and his father is just LeVar Ball on steroids, essentially, basically saying, I've been programming this kid since he was 6 years old. He's working out 6 to 7 times a week, eating brown rice, salmon, just programmed to be a machine, no emotion, stone cold face killer. These are all exact words that he has used in various interviews since this kid is 6 years old. And there's been various DMs of him leaked, just DMing every single media outlet saying, get my son on your show, talk about my son. I mean, this is a 10-year-old kid. He's not letting I think it's personally disgusting. I mean, the kid's 10 years old. He hasn't really lived a normal life besides being a PR social media machine and being bred to play football. Like it's inhumane. So I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on the situation.
All right, so lots to unpack here with this Baby Gronk situation. First and foremost, we're dealing with a 10-year-old child. We're comparing him to the greatest tight end of all time, 6'7", 270. Again, 10-year-old child to the greatest tight end of all time. Secondly, 10-year-old child. Parents. And I feel like every parent says this, and then they become a parent, and they're all crazy about their kids in sports. Like the dads that I want to hang out with are the ones hanging away from the group, the crowd, because they're the ones that doesn't want to handle and deal with the crowd of parents that are in their kids' face, coaching other kids from the sideline, getting on the coaches for not playing their kids enough. Frank Martin, former South Carolina basketball coach, had the best speech ever. Like, this parent is volunteering their time to coach your child and you're getting upset with them. Or a referee who makes $30 or an ump that makes $30 and you're getting upset with them. My point in all this is it's ridiculous. And people compare them to like Mr. Ball and, Mellow Ball situation. They're two different things. The Mellow kid, all those kids, the Ball family, they're all grown men at that juncture, or at least the majority of them, or one of them was, at least in college. All three of those kids had great basketball careers and all went to college. That situation's a little overblown, but that's on him. At the end of the day, though, this Baby Gronk thing's absolutely ridiculous. I don't even want to paint it that much too much light because this is exactly what the dad wanted. This kid doesn't know anything other than what the parent is telling them. You're a product of your parents. So I don't know, Jack. That's my take on it. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous what we're doing with kids these days. Play as many sports as possible. Everybody knows this. Every great athlete says this. Play as many sports as possible. You listen to Christian McCaffrey, you listen to Michael Jordan, you listen to all these superior athletes. They played a bunch of sports. They had a blast. Maybe until their junior or senior in high school, they didn't pick one because of recruiting and all these different things. You kind of had to select one. I had to. But it was really for my health. Ended up not being the best decision, but it was for my health to protect me from hurting myself more. So I know I'm long-winded, but the bottom line is this thing is a joke. This dad and this, I don't know their family situation, but this is a joke of a situation. I don't want to elaborate on the parenting because everyone does it a little bit differently and it's a challenge and it's hard, but this is way above and beyond for some kid who probably will never even play college like football, at least at Division I level, unless he can develop the size, strength, and speed. But he's a 10-year-old kid. You got to wait another 10 years for that. So I'm out, Jack. I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, even Kobe Bryant himself has said, because I've seen the videos, like when he's talking about himself growing, he's like, yeah, like I love basketball, I was psychotic about it, but like when you're young, like you just play it to have fun and just figure out if this is really what you want to do. You kind of have to let the kid make the decision for himself. And then once they get to that sophomore, junior year of high school, then yeah, you start to take it seriously. You start to work out. You start to train, all that sort of stuff outside of practices. If you really want to take it to that next level, I mean, if some of the greatest, like you said, if all the greatest athletes are all time are kind of saying the same thing, I think there's a kind of obvious track record. Even if you are enormously gifted talent, like it's just hold off, let the kid enjoy his childhood, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't agree anymore. It's what we're spending too much time on it because I hate the situation, and I'm just like, nope, we're not going to bring it to light, even though we did, because it's good banter and it's good conversation for the show, but it's just ridiculous. So